Welcome to the unique event that is the Tour of Mull Rally, running for its 39th year, and again sponsored by Tunnocks, manufacturers of the famous tea cake. For 1 week of every year, this beautiful island that is as famous for its stunning scenery and wildlife as it is for its hospitality and friendliness welcomes rally competitors, service crews, marshals and spectators alike to enjoy this truly captivating event. For 2008, Rally HQ had moved to the new harbour building in Tobermory, and as we have seen in previous years, the weather in the run-up to the event was somewhat changeable. This was the ideal chance for a close-up look at some of the cars. But of more concern to the crews, it was the weather and tyre choice. After scrutineering, time to sign on in the new harbour building, home of the Sea Life Research Centre.
Okay John, 2008 Tournix Tour of Mull Rally. It's a bit wet this year.
It certainly is. I think it's going to make it quite difficult, yeah.
And the new road sections and some of the new tar and the new route, what's that done to your prep this year?
Not a great deal, must be honest. We obviously changed the notes accordingly, but it's pretty much the same as before. I think the speculation on this tar being slippy is, I think we'll find out when we hit the first bend.
Yeah, I think so. It looks pretty slippy and pretty narrow down there.
Yeah, it is. Well, I say we'll not know until tonight, and we'll have to see what the weather's like then. It might have dried out a little bit, well, hopefully anyway.
How's the preparations gone?
Preparation's been very good this year for once. We're actually through scrutiny and noise check the lot, just about to go and sign on. We had a good run down a couple of weeks ago in the McRae stages, so just ready to go. Ready to go right now.
And what do you think the stages are going to perform like tonight?
I think it'll be quite interesting with this rain. I think it's to dry up later on, but it'll still be slippy. A lot of puddles and that still lying, so in this new tar through the first stage it'll be quite interesting.
John Squinscoll, 2008, how's your prep gone this year?
It's gone fine up until the fire extinguisher going off this point. Just before scrutineering, but then better than at the start of the stage. Yeah, we're ready. I think we've got a good setup. I think it's just slippy. I think everyone's going to be cautious, but we'll see. The weather forecast is better.
And how's the recce gone before your accident this morning?
Came up a bit later than usual. Just work commitments meant we couldn't do it. So we came up on Tuesday. We spent a lot of time, but I think you can get too familiar with your notes, and it's often better to call a halt and actually run on the notes, otherwise you run on your memory. So,
Chris Hall, you won your class last year in the 205. You're in the ST this year. What's your expectations for this year?
Well, if I better my result at all than I did last year, then I'll be very happy. Top 10 would be very good, so we'll just have to see how it goes. It depends on the conditions. If it's wet, it might suit us, it might not, I'm not sure.
And how's the preparations gone for the event with the car?
Yeah, really well. The car's fine. We did a little bit of testing up at home, and it's perfect. So the wreck has gone well as well. So we've got no excuses.
Each year, the 2300 Club award a fantastic prize to an up-and-coming star of the future. And this year, that prize of a free entry, plus a visit to the Rally School Norway, and a set of Kumho tyres, would go to Phil Scholes.
Phil Scholes, the 2008 John Easton Scholarship winner. How does that feel?
Oh, it's amazing. It's brilliant to be offered the drive for Mull and to do the rally. It's I won't be able to afford to do it to have a good goal.
And what sort of season you have? You've obviously impressed with results and stuff like that. And when did you find out you had the win?
Well, the year's been all right. It's not been the best year. I mean, we've done well and got noticed really from doing little bits of things. So we've had a few bad runs. So we thought that would have paid an end to doing the rally. But no, to get the award 4 weeks ago was just like the mad dash to get everything sorted. So to get here and be doing it's ace. It's really, really good. We had a rally at Wheaton before we were coming here, and we broke the car, the drive shaft snapped. So we've been trying to sort out some new drive shafts for it to get it ready and bits and pieces, and it's just we've got the car ready. So it's just up to me and Jamie now to do the bit. Been wrecking since Saturday when we came up, done all our own notes, and seem very happy with what we've got. So it's just not to go too silly and drive like we normally do, and just keep it steady away, and just hopefully have a good finish.
Neil McKinnon, 2007 winner last year. How's your preparation gone this year?
It's gone not too bad. We haven't had a lot of time for preparation this year. I've just had a run in the car last night and it seems fine now.
And is it the same car as last year, or is it a different one?
It's the same car. It's had a new engine. We had a lot of problems with it last year with the engine, so it's had a new engine. The brakes have a bit of work done on the brakes, and really that's about it. Nothing else. It seems fine, eh?
Okay, and you're back with Mike in the co-driver's seat. Are you going to continue to use pace notes from last year? Are you going to go back to your usual format?
We'll not be using them this year because Mike doesn't do any rallying apart from Mull, and it's 2 years since he's been in the car. So we're just going to drive it inside.
And what about family rivalry with young Paul? What do you think this year? How's he going to go?
I think he'll go well, eh? I think he's got Daniel with him, and I think the combination of the two of them will work well. And he's put a fair bit of work into it, so hopefully it'll go quite well.
And so we head to the start ramp, and as the winner in 2007, it was Neil McKinnon first onto the ramp. For 2008, the route had been changed, and so the first stage would be just over 14 miles in length, and take competitors along the Glen Arros Road into Der Vig village, and up over the hill road. And with several newly surfaced sections, this was certainly going to be quite an opening test. So here's McKinnon Senior as he exits the Glen. Heading to Der Vig village, he was obviously working the brakes very hard, as they glowed brightly in the dark. But he didn't look too comfy, and sure enough, he was already having engine problems. Second into the stage and heading towards their front door, it was the local heroes, Callum and Ian Duffy. They looked visibly quicker, much to the delight of the large crowd. They would actually catch and pass the struggling Subaru of McKinnon, stopping the clocks on 11 minutes 54 seconds. Third off the start ramp, waved away by Boyd Tunnock, it was Cumbrian Dougie Hall. Earlier in the week, Dougie had cycled the 22 miles of coastal road from Grewline around Calgary Bay to Der Vig, raising money for charity along the way. But into stage one, he was on much more frantic pace. It was a good start for Hall, stopping the clocks on 12 minutes 2 seconds, but already 8 seconds slower than Duffy. John Cope had only had his new engine back on the Tuesday of rally week, and with little time to fine-tune things, it would be a more cautious start. We'll go on board with John and navigator Rob Fagg.
Left one and crest into flat right, 100. Crest and flat left, and crest into flat right, 75. Straight on crest, 75. 50, flat left over crest by house, and left one. 50 wet. Caution, right one on crest, slippy. 50 wet. right 1 on crest, 75. Very long left 1 continues, and to caution, right 3. Into junction, left 9. Junction left 9. Straight on bridge. Into long right 4 tightens. Into right 5 at post. And right 8. And left 1, 50. Right 1. And left 3 on crest. And flat right. Into flat left. Into long right 3 tightens. And junction, turn left 3, keep in. 50. Crest into left 1, slippy exit. And long right 1. And left 1, 50. Right 1, 100. Left 2, don't cut. And flat right on crest, 50. Straight on crest, 50. Right 2 at post. 50. Left 1 on jump. Into caution, yump dip and double caution. Left 2 over crest away.
They would reach the end of the stage, stopping the clocks on 12 minutes 35 seconds.
Don't cut.
McKinnon Jr., Paul, had the 2007 winning navigator alongside, and before punctures last year, he was challenging for the lead. He certainly looked quick here as he closed in on John Coe. He would set the fastest time, stopping the clocks on 11 minutes 47 seconds, some 7 seconds quicker than Duffy. Seeded at number 6, Paul Kirtley was in a newly built Subaru WRC for this year's Tour. But following a couple of offs last year, he was taking things a little easier on this opening stage. Second two-wheel drive away from the start in Tobermory, it was James McGilvery and Ian Fraser. But James was not 100% fit and was taking painkillers for a bad back. We'll join James and Ian midway down the glen on this newly surfaced section. Just watch how twitchy the car is. And it was a good start for this local crew as they stopped the clocks in 6th place. Dennis Biggerstaff was back for another go at Mull and hoping for dry weather, and at least so far so good. But as the car approached Dervig, it didn't sound too good. We'll go on board with Dennis and navigator Graham Thompson.
6 right, 100. Cut 2 left over bump, 150 down mid. You got a retorch with you? Yeah. Cut 3 right, 100. 3 left late, into. There's a crowd up here, I'm stopping here. 3 left, 100.
Unfortunately, they would have to find somewhere to stop and change a puncture, but doing so would drop them over 6 minutes.
Straight on. You're all right. Have you got a torch? All right, get the torch out. I'll do the jack. So here we go.
Tony Bardi is a regular competitor on Mull, and following a disappointing run in the Hyundai last year, he had reverted back to his trusty Nissan for 2008. But he too was in trouble. The flame-spitting Nissan was only in two-wheel drive, and Bardi was struggling. Wesley Patterson was making his Mull debut, having just recently finished top two-wheel drive and 5th overall on the Wexford Rally. Callum Duffy had persuaded Wesley that he should give Mull a go, and he was surprised at just how tight and narrow the roads were. We'll join him on board partway down the glen. Daniel Harper had started the stage a minute later, but was making the most of the extra development and horsepower since 2007, and Wesley was in for a surprise. Roughly halfway through this 14-mile stage, and those lights in the mirror belonged to Harper. Harper would continue at unabated pace to set the 5th fastest time, whilst Patterson knew he had a lot to learn about Mull. Young Chris Hall had drafted in the M-Sport Fiesta Sporting Trophy UK coordinator Richard Milliner, and he was enjoying an exciting first stage ride.
To 2, and right one hook, into square right, left 4, go 40, right 5, into left 2, right 6, and left 4, and right 2 tightens, into slot left 3 up, into crest, left 4, right 4 long, bump, left 3, bad bump, left 3.
It was a fantastic opening stage, stopping the clocks just 16 seconds behind his father, Dougie, to take an early 4th overall.
And left 4 on bridge.
8th fastest would go to Willie Bonnywell in his Subaru, whilst it was a superb start for the little Peugeot of Ian Mackenzie, not only leading Class B, but stopping the clocks in 9th overall, just 1 second slower than the Subaru of Bonnywell. And rounding out the top 10, no problem so far for Eddie O'Donnell. There were some other notable early performances. Tristan Pye and Kirsty Riddock were leading Group N in their Subaru. John McCrone had graduated from the local Bear Cubs rally team and was now driving a 1600cc Peugeot 205. He was certainly getting lots of local support, and it was a great opening stage as he also passed the car ahead, putting himself into the top 20. And the John Eason Scholarship winner, Phil Scholes, he too was making a great start, ably guided by Jamie Foster.
5 left tightens, into 5 right over crest, 6 left, into 6 right, 30, stay middle over crest, 100, 6 right over crest, I repeat 100, 6 right over crest, 70, stay middle over flat crest, 5 left over crest, into 4 right, into stay middle over crest, into immediate 3 left plus, sorry about that, 50, 5 right over crest, 50, stay middle over crest, into 5 right over crest, 5 right over crest, 50, 6 left, 50, 5 left over crest, 30, 4 left, into slippy 3 right door cut, 70, 4 right over crest, 50, kick right, into 5 left, 30, 5 left, 5 left, into 3 right, into open square left, no cut. Stay middle over crest, over 3.
Crews now faced 2 more stages before the first service halt. Neil McKinnon had taken the opportunity of a long road section to allow things to cool down, and so he lined up at the start of stage 2 on time and raring to go. Neil would actually record the second fastest time for the stage, but shortly afterwards he was seen parked up again. The overheating engine had reoccurred, and he didn't want to risk any further damage. 2 more great stages for Callum and Ian Duffy would secure their second overall, but after just 3 stages they would be 27 seconds behind the overall leader. And it was the young Paul McKinnon and Daniel Barrett who were setting the pace. And what a pace too, with fastest times on all 3 stages. Dougie Hall was maintaining his pace, and 2 more top 5 times ensured he would return to service in 3rd place. But he would have to start to keep an eye on the rapid Mini Cooper S of Daniel Harper, who was on a real charge. We'll join him and Chris Campbell as they near the end of stage 2. James McGilvery was finding the rear suspension setup to be a little too soft, causing the back end to skit about. But a quick adjustment before stage 3 would see an improvement, and he would head to service in 6th overall. One place higher, his first stage, 4th fastest, was proving to be no fluke as the young Chris Hall was absolutely stunning. Tying for time with McGilvery on stage 3, he was certainly the early revelation of the event, and giving Richard Milliner an insight into flying lessons. We'll take another look from on board.
And right on big jump, 40 over bridge, right on big jump, 40 over bridge. Slight right, left 7 on jump, small crest, left 3 minus, 80, right 6 over crest, 40, right 2 in on jump, into left 4 long,
Go left 1, 75, long right 1 on crest continues.
John Cope wasn't a happy man. Despite sitting inside the top 10, he just couldn't seem to find that extra edge. But he was in 7th overall after these opening 3 stages.
Flat right, then flat left on crest, and caution flat left on crest, immediate left 2 continues. 150, right 1 on crest, into Yump on bridge, and crest damp inside, left 1, mud maybe, 150, flat right on crest, Yump, 50, right 2 on crest.
Willie Bonnywell was keeping out of trouble in 8th place, despite a couple of moments which he just shrugged off. Tristan Pye's navigator, Kirsty Riddick, had been nature watching after a small excursion. She had seen an otter crossing the road. But despite the distraction, the Group N Subaru was in superb 9th overall. It was another Subaru rounding out the top 10. Despite patches of damp on some corners, David Miller was happy with his performance so far, in the almost ideal conditions. Stage 4 would see the action move further north after the one and only main service halt of the night. We'll go on board with James McGilvery and Ian Fraser as they near the end of the stage. But oh no! It was still damp in places, and they were lucky not to go too far off there. We now move on to stage 5, and still it remains slippery in places. Two more good stages for this local pairing would see them end the night in 4th overall. At the end of the leg, we had a quick chat with James.
Morning. How's that first leg been for you tonight? Yeah, it was slippy. We had an overshoot in the Michelin logs, but the last 2 have been a lot better, so yep, happy. And the rain kept off here? Well, it rained a little bit in the last bit. I think you know it's going to be slippy. It's not so bad, you know. It's but it's a lot slippier than last year, so. Okay, yeah. James. Good night work. See you tomorrow. Yep. Thanks very much.
With his car back in 4-wheel drive, Tony Bardi was back on a charge for the remaining stages of the leg. But when we caught up with him at the final control, it looked like he had had a hard night.
Good morning, Tony. How's that first leg been for you?
First 10 mile was good, and then we had a problem. I didn't know what the hell it was, but we did 3 stages with a broken front drive shaft, so.
Bit rough out there then.
Oh, it was all rear wheel drive and then a bit of 4-wheel, and so now we've got no excuse. We're still not fast.
Got time to fix that now overnight, ready for tomorrow's stages.
The drive shaft's fixed. Did that service, but hell, it's quick.
You enjoying it?
Definitely. Yeah.
Good to be back in this car.
I suppose so. Yeah.
Tony would end the leg in 14th overall. Ending the leg in a superb 15th overall, it was Wayne Sisson.
Wayne, good evening. How's that been in there for you today?
Yeah, it's been good getting ourselves back into it. Daniel's not done the rally before and I've not done it for 10 years, so we're quite happy. I think we're where we're lying. We just took the wrong tyre choice on the last two there, but that's part of learning this rally, I think.
Are the conditions the same for everybody? A bit slippy out there?
Yeah, the last two I think would have been good grip, but we were just on the wrong tyre.
Ready for tomorrow now? Daylight, do you prefer that?
Well, yeah, I'm more used to daylight than, but I've really enjoyed tonight. I can't complain, you know. We're here and fight another day.
With a change of car for 2008, Tug Sherrington was quickly getting to grips with the Mitsubishi and would end the leg in 12th overall.
Tugs, how's the new car?
It's alright actually. It's took a bit getting used to on the first stage, but I think we'd softened it off too much, and we clicked it up a bit because we knew it were going to dry out on the next two stages, and it were down Gribben and Scrid, and it were fantastic. It were really good. I'm just getting used to it really.
But all clean all the way?
Yeah, not a problem at all. I mean, we had a couple of little indiscretions, should we say, where it just stepped sideways on me, but I got it back. It wasn't, you know, I'll just get used to it. I've never had a four-wheel drive turbo car before, so it's like anything, isn't it? You know, but I think I'm getting used to it now.
8th, 9th and 10th places were very close. Paul Kirtley holding on to 10th and David Miller just 2 seconds ahead in 9th.
Good morning, Dave. How's that first leg been for you?
Strenuous actually, but you know, we've kept it on the island, so we're still here. So it's not been too bad really, has it?
Been very slippy out there by all accounts.
Yeah, it's treacherous actually, yeah, but still a long way to go, yeah.
No other dramas?
No, we've been all right really so far.
Leading Group N and 8th overall, it was Tristan Pye.
How's that first leg been for you tonight?
Started off a bit dodgy. We went off on the first stage, but scared me a little bit for a few stages. But I think we're back on track now, so it's been good. So,
was that just down to being nerves on the first stage or wrong tyre choice?
No, everything's right. Just driver. Yeah, went straight off. So, but it was okay.
No more dramas?
No, not really.
Small crest, left 4 minus late.
It was the end of a great first leg for Chris Hall and Richard Milliner. But that heavy landing on stage 2 had caused a few problems, as Chris explained.
The start of 2 we took a jump way too fast and we knocked the tracking out, so we carried that right through them 2 stages, and as you can see we've had the tracking's still way out, the steering wheel's way out, so we're just getting through tonight really and looking forward to tomorrow.
Yeah, daylight stages tomorrow. Do you prefer the daylight or do you prefer the dark?
The dark, to be honest. The bigger guys normally take time out of us in a day, so we'll just see out. We're trying to lose too many positions tomorrow, really, and hopefully get on it again tomorrow night.
It wasn't such good news for his father, Dougie. You can see him here on the right. The car had slid off the road, ending his rally on the spot.
150 is your dad. Left 7 and right 7. Concentrate, yeah?
Yeah.
40.
Finishing the leg in 7th place, it was a very relaxed Willie Bonnywell.
How are we doing, Willie?
Fine, just steady away tonight. Bit with the wrong set of tyres on for the first few stages, but we're starting to get the confidence in the grip now.
And what the stage has been like out there?
Well, I thought they were pretty slippery. They didn't look slippery until you run them. Then they were slippery. So we had a few wee moments, and but we've just calmed down and been sensible and get through.
At the end of the day, you're here now, ready for tomorrow.
Exactly, that's the main thing. Friday night, get through the Friday night, and then worry about it. You just let all the other guys go ahead. Battle it out.
On board with John Cope, and he seemed to be enjoying himself.
And left 3 on crest, 75. Caution right 4 on bridge. Yeah and a half. Into left 1, 50. Junction left 6. Into right 4. 50, right 1, and left 2 out.
But at the final control of the leg, despite his 6th overall, it was a rather deflated John Cope.
How's that first leg been for you tonight?
You want the honest truth? Absolutely terrible.
What's the problem?
I think I was caught napping to begin with, but the car just was all over the road, so I really struggled on the first 3. Came into service, did a bit of messing around with it. It seems to be a lot better, but we're nowhere near the pace.
Okay, see how you do tomorrow, John.
Okay, cheers.
Daniel Harper could not have been much happier by contrast. The Mini was truly flying.
I believe they've been telling me you've been flying tonight there.
Yeah, it's just very unpredictable. 1 minute it's dry and there's loads of grip, the next minute there's just loads of running water, you know, it's just unpredictable, so you just be a bit careful. Had a couple of big months.
Okay. You've got a smile on your face, you must be doing alright then.
You got to enjoy it.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Only 2 minutes ahead and in 2nd place, Callum Duffy had certainly been trying. And despite a high appetite for rear tyres, he set fastest times on the 2 final stages.
It's been up and down, struggling to get grip, but it's quite slippy. But now in the last 2 stages we've developed a misfire at high revs, which has lost a bit of time with that as well. Quite a good time in Calgary, but a really bad time in Lochtua. It came in worse in Lochtua. Don't know what it is, no idea.
At least you've got the whole night to sort it out.
Yeah, we've got the night to sort it out, and like I say, it's still running.
But holding on to a 15-second advantage, it was the young Paul McKinnon who would head back to his bed as the overnight leader.
The first few stages were excellent, really good times in there, but in them last 2 stages we've lost the power steering there, so we've dropped quite a bit of time. It's kind of an intermittent problem. 1 minute we've got it, the next minute, so it's not really too good for the confidence there. Go round the corner and suddenly it's, you know, but I don't know, we dropped quite a bit of time in the last 2, but hopefully not too much, but apart from that it's been quite good.
Are the conditions suiting you then?
I wouldn't say so, to be honest. I'm finding the car's moving about quite a bit. I don't know if we've got the right setting or not, but you know, it's certainly a bit of a handful. I'm sure everyone else is the same, but hopefully tonight we'll try and sort that out and fix this steering problem, and then we're ready for tomorrow.
And in the classes, the smallest engine class would be headed by the Vauxhall Nova of Matthew Tarbert, who held a minute's advantage to the Corsa of Mark Constantine. Mark had been on the reserve list and was lucky to even get a run.
Well, it was pack up and go home really, because obviously we didn't have a run. So we were just planning our route where we were going to go and spectate, to be honest.
And I believe you got a phone call at 6 o'clock?
Yeah, we did. We got a phone call and said, can you be in Salon in a quarter of an hour to pick up some numbers? You've got to run. So it was all hands to the pump to swap tyres, sort the car, fill it up with fuel, and get up to Tobermory with our documents.
In Class B, it was Ian Mackenzie in the little Peugeot 106 Cup car who just held the advantage. Just 28 seconds behind after 6 stages, it was the Peugeot 205 of John McCrone. He had certainly been driving on the ragged edge at times. With Chris Hall holding a commanding lead in Class C, second in class would belong to the Escort Mark II of Doug Weir, with third in class currently belonging to another Escort, this one belonging to Dave Hopwood.
Into K right, into slight left over crest, 50, 90 left.
First 3 stages, I went out on cut slicks, and it was really greasy. I just hadn't got the confidence in them at all. I wasn't getting no feel at the front. So, you know, we dropped a lot of time. We put it off slightly on Glen Harris, just up a bank and then back on again. Probably dropped, 20, 30 seconds. But I've swapped a pair of wets on the front for those last 3, and we've gone much better. So I'm hoping now we've pegged some of the time back. So, yeah, feeling better now for tomorrow.
So here's confirmation of the top 10 at the end of a long first night, with McKinnon Jr. heading the timesheets from Duffy. Then just a handful of seconds separated 3rd through to 6, with Paul Kirtley rounding out the top 10. We'd also lost Wesley Patterson, who retired after 4 stages due to feeling unwell. He assured us he'll be back next year. To see more action from Leg 1, go to the bonus section on the main menu of the DVD. Leg 2, and it was fine weather that greeted the crews for the restart in Salon, where once again we caught up with some of the drivers.
Paul, line first place overnight, how does that feel?
Yeah, it feels really good. It's I suppose it's better to be in the lead at this point than 15 behind, but last night we had a few problems with the power steering there towards the end, so hopefully the boys have changed the whole rack and the pump and everything, and I'm really hoping they'll get a clean run through the afternoon today, and we'll just see how Callum goes, and we'll just try and preserve the car, I think.
Are you aware he's behind you, or are you just going to keep driving your own event?
Yeah, we're aware he's there, but there's, at the end of the day, we can only do our own thing. The car is essentially a Group N car, so there's only so much these wee brakes and the suspension can take. So at the end of the day, if Callum's got a bit in reserve there, we'll just have to try and stick in there. But the thing is, I'm really enjoying it at the minute. It's a great position to be in. It's unexpected as well. So I just want to keep going and get to the end, and you never know, our luck, you might just get there.
Callum Lyne, 2nd place, going into the daytime stages. You had a bit of a problem last night when we spoke to you. Do you think you fixed the problem?
We hope so. We found a cracked plug, and so we're hoping that's the problem. That would definitely it would have added up the problems we had. So we haven't tried it yet. So you can't. It only comes in at really high revs, so hopefully it'll be all right.
Okay, and the daylight stage is a bit of a short leg this afternoon. How do you take that one?
Flat out. There's no other way to be. The two of us are just. It's a battle, between me and Paul, and there's only one way to do it.
Keep it going, Callum.
Cheers.
All right, Danny. 3rd overnight, going into the daylight stages. How do you attack this one now?
Same as last night, really. Just have a good steady run, see what comes of it during the day. See with these 2 boys in the front, just have a fall off.
That's what you're hoping for, is it?
No. It's I think it's just a good fight this afternoon. Will be all right. Yeah, should be good.
You had a smile on your face last night when you spoke to you. Let's hope you have a smile on your face later on.
I always got a smile on my face.
How do you fancy the daylight stages?
I think maybe some of the boys behind us will go a bit better in the daylight, but we've just got to work our way and see what happens. It's all we can do.
How did you enjoy last night?
That was slippy last night. A lot of big moments last night, and we kind of held station at 4th, 5th overall all the time, so it was all right, but it was very, very slippy.
And it's nice and dry. Let's hope the weather keeps up for you today.
It's dry at the moment, so we've got tyres on that's hoping for a bit of shower in here or there, but it'll be slippy no matter what. It hasn't, there's been so much rain for the last week there that it's going to be on the road anyway, so we'll just have to see what happens.
Great result overnight, 5th overall. Do you think you can keep it up?
I'm not sure. It was a bit unexpected, to be honest, to be that high up. I think the conditions suited us with them being slippy. I think we might lose a couple of positions today, but hopefully not too many.
And was there any work to be done on the car overnight, or is it pretty much the same as last night?
We attacked some of the jumps a bit hard last night and did a bit of damage to the front, so we've changed the hubs and some of the suspension components, so it should be all right now.
John, line 6 overall overnight. You weren't very happy when we spoke to you last night. What are you like this morning?
A better mood this morning. We think we've got to the root of the problem. We've softened the suspension off an awful lot from where we would normally have it, because we've tried different tyres this year, and I think it's backfired on us a little. the tyres have got more grip, but she was bouncing over the road a lot. So, like I say, we softened it off last night, and although we weren't on the pace of the front runners still, I think it felt better. So hopefully today she'll be able to push a bit harder.
Just going to say we're going to see another Saturday afternoon John Cope push.
Well, again, you know, you never know what's going to happen here, but yeah, I'm going to give it a go. I mean, you know, when you look at sort of the 3 cars around us, there's within 16 seconds or so, so it's all to play for.
Willie, 7th overall overnight. How do you fancy that one?
No, that's fine. It's a steady run last night. It was pretty slippery, but just behaved myself, listened to my navigator, and just got round. The main thing was to be here this morning, not be in the trophy rally, which is the usual where I am.
And the conditions last night were very slippy, but the same for everybody, of course.
Aye, it was. I mean, I was driving pretty cautiously last night. I mean, you could really feel the car sliding about. And I haven't really driven this on tar, so I didn't know what it was going to do over crests and things. And I frightened down the glen, and that was enough to keep us sane for the rest of the night.
Are you looking forward to the daylight stages better than the dark?
Definitely, yes. Yeah. Oh, so I think everybody is. In all fairness, I mean, none of us really like I don't believe anybody really likes the dark. You know, you've got the car's loaded up with lights are all going, heaters are on, etc., etc. So it's hard in the car as well.
Tristan, 8th overnight. What's the plan for today's stages?
With it being daylight, hopefully I'll be able to go a little bit quicker, try and catch up on the locals, but they'll probably go faster as well. So I don't know, we'll see what happens.
Got a smile on your face anyway. Let's hope we see a smile on your face at the end of the leg.
Yeah, so it'd be good if we finish this one.
Paul, you're still smiling again this morning like you were last night?
Yeah, I always enjoy this. I'm not entirely sure why, but I have a really good time.
I was going to say, last year you had a bit of a moment on Calgary Bay in the afternoon. Have you got that marked down this time?
Yeah, I've got that. It was really at the back of my mind all the time yesterday, and it just any time the sort of same conditions came about, I was just backing off a little bit. So a little bit dry. Hopefully we'll lighten the tyres a little bit this time now.
Okay, Paul, good luck.
Thanks very much. Cheers now.
So, as the cars headed out to the daylight stages, here's what was in store. Stage 7 would run from Killycronan to Kilninian, before 2 stages around Calgary Bay. Then it would be the Mishnish Locks to a service in Tobermory, before the final 2 stages around Greeburn and Screeden. So, as McKinnon set off into this 11-mile opening stage, we'll join second-placed Callum and Ian Duffy.
Go 1,000. To long left 3, slippy, tightens 100. To right 4, 200. To right 1 over brow, slippy. To right 1 over brow, slippy, 100. To right 4, 100. To open left 3. And to open left 4, 300. Flat over brow, 100 into left 7. To right 2. Into left 6 plus right 4, 200. To right 4, 300.
Further on in the stage, and we're now on board with John Cope and Rob Fagg. And those clear skies are starting to close in.
50. And caution flat right on crest, immediate left 3, don't cut. And long right 2, and open left 4, 50. Crest and right 4 on crest at Armco. Into right 1 on crest. And flat left, keep right, 50, bump right 1 on crest, 50, straight on crest and flat left, 75 to phone box, and long crest, and flat left, 75, flat right, 50 to post, sign and right 1 at junction, into caution, right 1 tightens to 6 late at post, 150. Right 1 over crest, 75. Straight on crest, 100. Left 1 and double caution yump, 100. Flat right farm, 50. Long left 1 on crest, 100.
We're now nearing the end of the stage, and this is the Nissan of Tony Bardi. He had finished leg 1 down in 14th place, but was back on a charge in the daylight. It was McKinnon who topped the timesheets ahead of Duffy, but a superb 4th fastest here for Bardi moved him back into the top 10. Stages 8 and 9 would be the loop around Calgary Bay, and a large crowd had gathered at this uphill section, known as the Steps. McKinnon was first into view, and once again would set the pace, stopping the clocks 7 seconds ahead of Duffy. But at least the rain now looked to be holding off, a stiff breeze keeping the clouds away. We're now back on board with Duffy in the early part of the stage. Apologies for the audio, but those heavy jumps had taken their toll on our kit.
To right 7, plus left 1, 100. Left 3 over yump into left 4, plus right 6. Plus left 6, plus right 9, plus left 9, 100, to left 4, plus right 3 over brow, into flat over brow, 100, to left 3, plus right 3, down, into left 2, 200, to flat over brow, into right 2, jump bridge, 200.
On the second attempt at the stage, Duffy and McKinnon would stop the clocks on identical times and would both pull out an even bigger gap to the cars behind. A steady start for James McGilvery was followed by 2 superb runs around Calgary Bay, stopping the clocks just 11 seconds behind the charging pair ahead. He moved up into 3rd overall. The amazing Mini of Daniel Harper was continuing to hold on to his overnight 3rd overall, until an engine misfire on the second run through Calgary would see him drop almost a full minute, and with one more stage before service, he would drop even more time before a cure could be found. As expected, with the daylight, everyone had upped their pace, and Chris Hall in the Group N Fiesta could not quite keep up with the frantic pace ahead, but he would still maintain a top 10 position. The overnight changes to the suspension were obviously working well. Just see how well it rides the jumps here.
Then crest and bump right 5, into left 7, and crest then right 5, and big jump. .120, jump into left 5 on crest half long, 80, left 7 over big crest, 80, crest C, 60, bad dip.
Willie Bonnywell was one of those crews who was certainly enjoying the daylight more and was finding his tyres to be working much better too. He moved up one place on the opening stage, and over the next 2 stages he continued to improve and would head into the service halt in 4th overall. John Cope was feeling happier with his setup. He had softened the suspension even more, but the car was still skipping, and he just couldn't quite put in his usual performance.
And bridge and flat right into flat left 50, crest of right 1, and caution jump over bridge 150, crest into left 1 over crest at post 100, flat left on crest 75, straight on crest 50 bumps, flat right on crest and left 1 on crest 50, straight over jump mid 50, long flat right and flat left on crest and straight on crest into flat left into straight on crest 75, tricky now, crest into flat left, on crest don't cut, caution dip, and flat left at sign, and caution crest immediate right 9. And left 5, don't cut, right 5 keep out, into caution crest, hairpin left, 50, caution left 3 on crest into right 9, 50, right 1 and left 1, and flat right over crest, and flat left continues over crest 50.
Possibly the most consistent performance was coming from the Group N Subaru of Tristan Pye. Another run of top 10 times ensured he would hold on to his 8th overall. Tony Bardy's good form continued here on Calgary, and you could tell just how hard he was trying here, clipping the post on the right. He would hold on to his 9th overall. Eddie O'Donnell was on a push too, having started the leg just outside the top 10. After his first run through Calgary, he was up into 9th overall. He would drop one place after the second run, but then his car refused to start for the following stage.
Something happened there. No ignition.
It would take several minutes before he was back on his way. but would end the stage in 25th place. Tugs Sherrington was adjusting quickly to the power and grip of the Mitsubishi Evo 4 and was starting to have a great battle with the newer Evo 9 of John Swinscoe. And so far it was the older version just holding the advantage. Dave Hopwood and Paul Grattage had made a good start on the opening stage, moving into the top 20. We'll join them part way through their first run of Calgary.
100. Slight right. Armco, caution, lead tight, 90 right. Into medium left. You're right.
Yeah, sorry Max.
You're right.
They would actually block the stage until the car was pushed to safety. And whilst no one was hurt, the car was too badly damaged to continue. Shortly after this delay, the escort of Jerry Cassidy was about to get caught out on the vicious jumps. Again, no one was injured, but proof again that on this event anything can happen. John Eason Scholarship winner Phil Scholes had put in a great first leg performance and was all set for expanding the learning curve here on day 2. With the young Jamie Foster alongside, the pairing were working well.
56 left. 56 right. 50. 6 right over the crest. 30. It's 5 right over the crest. 50. 5 right minus. It's a long 5 left open. 30, big jump over the bridge.
But just look out for this jump.
To immediate 3 left. It's a 6 right over.
As we watch again, you can see how the landing throws the car off balance. And then they're stuck fast. So we move on to the final 2 stages of the afternoon, where the wind was keeping everyone chilled. Eagerly awaiting the arrival of the first cars, Neil McKinnon, now out to watch, keeping an eye on his son's performance. The battle at the top would continue as just 27 seconds separated McKinnon from Duffy. And whilst McKinnon's car looked well balanced and composed, Duffy was still struggling with his tyres. Duffy was still struggling with his tyres. He was running the hardest compound he could, yet he was still shredding them. But this moment early on was more to do with cold tyres and putting a wheel off the road.
So left 3 over brow. Oh no, left over brow, 200. Right 3 plus left 3, right 3, left 3.
Here it is again. The car is geared for 150 miles per hour, and as we see here, every time the gear display flickers red, that is flat out.
To left 3 at phone box, 200. Left 3, to left 3, 200. To left 2 over brow, 300. To long right 3.
Duffy would tie on time with McKinnon on stage 11 and take the fastest time for stage 12, but only by 2 seconds.
Right 2, into long left 3, tightens to left 6.
Daniel Harper's day hadn't been perfect, but he was still the top mini, showing the car's real potential and looking very steady over the jumps here. He would end the leg in 6th place. Having started the day in 7th place, the Subaru of Willie Bonniwell was having a great day, as stage by stage he moved up the leaderboard, and at the end of the leg he had overhauled the Escort of James McGilvery to take 3rd overall. But James wasn't going to give up without a fight. He needed dry conditions to help his cause, and with just 9 seconds separating him from 3rd place, it would still be a long hard battle for the night ahead. With his car certainly looking a little more stable, John Cope just couldn't find his full confidence. His times were still good though, and he would end the leg in 5th overall. Chris Hall was still attacking the jumps and kicking up the dust, but it was a fantastic afternoon for the youngster. He would start the final leg in 7th overall.
And left 4 in, and medium jump into right 4 minus. 60, right 6 late. 40, bumpy, care left 6 over jump, 100, left 7.
Tristan Pye was trying to catch the little Fiesta ahead, but he just couldn't quite manage it over the final 2 stages of the daytime. But with just 10 seconds separating them, this battle was far from over. Pushing equally as hard, Tony Bardi was on a real charge. The impressive looking and sounding Nissan, always a crowd pleaser, and Bardi was slowly reeling in Pye. David Miller was holding on to 10th place and held a comfy advantage to 11th place of over a minute. And in 11th, it was Tug Sherrington. John Swinsko was just happy to have survived the daytime stages after crashing out in 2007. He was currently 2nd in Group N, but had to keep an eye on the car behind, the Evo 4 of Steve and Ben Cressy.
Tightens 3 right, deceptive over bridge. 80. Long 3 left. 80, long flat right. 80 line, caution 2 right, over 3 right, over bridge. Slowing, there, 2 right, 3 right over bridge. 50, flat left over crest. Small crest, 80, flat 2 left over crest, 2 left over crest, 80. Flat crest, 100. 2 left tightens, 3 left over crest. 80, long 2 right over crest. 50. Flat left over crest, stay left, into flat right, 80, flat, long 2 left into bridge, 150, flat crest into caution 4 right.
Ian Mackenzie continued to lead Class B by a healthy margin of over a minute and a half. Even more impressive though was his 15th overall. Close behind in his Fiesta ST, Stevie Brown was rapidly improving from his starting position. He was actually leading the Group N up to 2 litre class.
And jump, walls, 40, crest centre, 5 left, minus, tightens 150. Keep right, in over flat crest 80, 3 right plus in. 100, 3 left plus over crest and slight right continues for 30, watch the 3, and crest 40, 3 right plus, keep left over crest and slight left 50, flat left 80, crest and 4 right plus.
After his double punctures on the opening leg, Dennis Biggerstaff was actually setting very impressive times in his Subaru WRC. We'll join him and co-driver Graham Thompson on this final stage of the day.
1 right over crest, 800 down mid. 1 left at the post, 150. Tidy, cut 3 right over crest, late 80. Long 3 left at post, turn closer to your mouth if you can. Long 3 left at post into cut 4 right, 60, 4 left, into absolute crest 100, 2 left, 300. Right entry, 2 left over big crest, 60. Line 3 right and 1 left, into long 3 right over crest, 80. Long 3 left, 80 here. Cut 2 right over crest, 100. 1 right, 100. Big cut, 3 left over crest, into 2 left over crest, 100. Tidy mid crest, 80. Cut 3 left post, 100. 4 right, 60. Small cut, 2 left over bump, 150. Long 2 left over crest, 80. 1 right, 100. Long 1 left at far post, 100. Into cut, 3 right over bump. Into 2 left over bump, 100. Right entry, cut 4 left, 60. 3 right, 80. Absolute crest and 1 left, 80 care. Mid crest, into 1 right, 80. Yep. That was a bad one. Yep. Right, okay, 3, 2 right continues, slight right over bump, 500.
Continuing to head Class A, Matthew Tarbert had pulled out a 3-minute advantage over the new second-placed Puma kit car of Alan McLaughlin. Our award for the best effort must go to the Peugeot of John McCrone, certainly for being the most committed twice over the steps at Calgary. So here's confirmation of the leaderboard at the end of leg 2, and it's starting to take shape, with the top 2 now pulling away by over 4 minutes now from third-placed Bonniwell. The next few places were still very close. A puncture or similar could make a big difference, as too could the weather. Missing off the list, Paul Kirtley. The Subaru had gone out with a blown manifold.
Lloyd Tunnock, sponsor of the 2008 Tunnock's Tour of Mull. You've sponsored it for the last few years now. What makes you keep coming back and enjoying this event?
The good weather and the Highland hospitality. And I think really, of course, it's probably the Tobermory whisky, which I bought 6 miniatures of today. And when I got to the 6th, when it had disappeared, I didn't want myself. I had a half later, so everything was all great.
And what do you like about the rally itself?
It's the competitiveness between the guys, and also the friendliness of everyone. Everyone's so happy, and I'm delighted to give them a few biscuits to make it happen. And from every angle, it's amazing just how sort of grateful the people are that I come along, and it makes you worth the whole thing worthwhile. I think it's great.
Okay, Paul, 25-second lead going into the final leg tonight. Confident?
I wouldn't say I'm confident, but I'm certainly happy to be in the lead at this stage. It's 25 seconds is not a big enough cushion in my opinion, but I'm looking forward to these stages, see what the weather does. It looks a bit unpredictable at the minute, but hopefully a clean run.
Callum, final night of the 2008 Tour of Mull, 25 seconds behind. Possible?
Anything's possible, aye, yeah. Certainly haven't given up yet, We'll see how we go in this first couple of stages, and so have a crack at it there, and if we can't get anything back on Paul, then it's not even half a second a mile, there's 50 miles to be had there, so you'd be pretty foolish not to go for it,
So I take it the long one's got a big bearing on this tonight?
Aye, that'll swing it one way or the other, but it's been so tight all the way through, there's been seconds here to me, seconds to Paul, and hence the fact there's only 25, so it's not the be all and end all, there's still something to go for, And
you relish in the battle?
Very much so, and it's good to see Paul coming through, and some of his times have been great today, and we're both breaking records, and no, it's good, if he wasn't there, there's a huge gap back to third, and I'm sure he's enjoying it as well,
You're looking like having a great rally, James.
It's going really well, so we'll attack on this first one tonight and see what happens. We'll just kind of see what goes on.
Well, you looked I saw you on stage 11 this afternoon, you were really flying. Looked like you're really happy in the Mark II, the rear wheel drive, and it stays dry tonight. Should be a very exciting evening for you.
Yeah, I think we've got it sorted now, so as I say, we'll attack on this first one, 22 miles, to see what goes on, and then if we get away with that, we'll see how things lie then.
And do you think you're going to be able to give those two boys ahead a bit of the run for the money?
No, I think the top two are away, but Willie's 9 ahead of us and John's 9 behind us, so we've all got it all to play for.
Evening. Bit better of an afternoon this afternoon than last night?
It was okay, yeah. We've still got set-up problems, but it's a lot better than it was, so yeah, we're not doing too bad now.
And you're looking forward to tonight, not a handful of seconds between second, third and fourth, third, fourth and fifth?
That's right, yeah, and it's all to play for, isn't it, but at the end of it, I don't think we're going to push too hard, so we'll see anyway.
Willie Bonnywell was almost late for his start time. We'll find out more about this in a moment. So next up it was Daniel Harper.
Away shortly. How did it go this afternoon?
Not so good this afternoon, with a bit of a problem with the car, but enjoying it.
Well, you lost a few positions, but knowing you, that'll have just given you more incentive to show us what you can do.
I don't know what you mean, Paul.
I'm sure you'll be going out for a good run tonight. Obviously safe, keep it on the island. We need to see you at the finish, Daniel, so good luck.
Thank you very much.
Have a great night.
Cheers, Bob.
Good on you, Daniel. Good away there. Now, Daniel had problems this afternoon. He was right. Well, it's a phenomenal performance. You must be just delighted.
Yeah, it's very precious now at the moment. I would like to get to the finish now we've got this far. We'll just have to see how it goes. We've got a lot of pressure from behind.
Well, don't let the pressure get you too much. Enjoy it as well and keep it safe. But we're looking forward to seeing you in that top 10 tonight. Have a great night, Chris. Enjoy it. What a great performance from young Chris.
Ian McKenzie, class leader tonight. Going to keep it up?
Well, just try and get through this first one, and it's not one of my best stages, so just try and get through tonight, I think, and see where we are, and see how we go on.
We saw you flying over the jumps this afternoon. More of the same tonight?
I think maybe we've done a bit too much flying just towards the end of Skreeden when burst the gearbox, so the gearbox changed since then. A lot of problems over the locks today in the start line. Had a a positive wire come off in the starter and the engine cut out, so we took a maximum on there, so that's why we're back here, but happy to be here.
It's a shame, but at least you're here at the end of the time.
Yeah, I'm sure you've heard all these tales of woe before, but that's mine.
And how did this afternoon go?
Good day, had a bit of a go today. Back end's really skippy, so I had a wee off as well in the locks and lost about a minute, so it's going alright.
Any chance of pushing Weog?
Nah, I've not got the power, can't catch him, but we're going to have a go anyway.
Okay, speak to you soon, John. Keep it on the road.
Cheers. Thanks.
So here's the layout for the final leg, with just 5 more stages to decide the title. But there's still a lot of mileage to go, with the 23-mile Tour Calgary Bay stage to start with. Then it's a rerun of the Nishnish Locks, before a long road section down to the southeast corner for service at Craignure. The first car to break the evening still was the event leader, Paul McKinnon. He was putting in a faultless performance and would once again set the pace for all others to follow, stopping the clocks here on a record-breaking 20 minutes 4 seconds. And remember, that is for a 23-mile stage. Another top time on the following stage would see him extend his lead by a further 15 seconds.
Right, Paul, that's the first 2 stages tonight. Looking at the times, it's gone very well for you in them first 2.
Yep. The first stage went really well. I would say the first 20 mile of that was really good, really clean run, but then in the last few mile we lost the brakes completely. Pedal just went to the floor, so I think that cost us a bit of time, but judging by the times you showed me there, I've still had a good time. And then on the stage over from Dervig to Tob, it was very slippy. We probably chose the wrong tyre, but I would think the majority of folk would be in the wrong tyre because it was wet in there the whole way, and that was just a kind of hard slick. But also we took a bit of time, so I'm really happy the way it's going so far.
Looking at the state of the car after them first 2 stages, there is still a bit of mud around even though it's been dry all day.
Yeah. The stages are very muddy with just spectator traffic and previous runs of the stage, so it's very easy to get caught out in slippy patches, a lot of loose gravel and stuff like that. So just trying to keep it on the tar. That's the best bit, to be honest, I think.
Well, there's 3 to go now. Do you think you can just maintain that lead now?
Well, you never know in rallying, that's just the nature of the sport, but hopefully if the car keeps going and I don't do anything silly, I would like to keep that lead. But 40 seconds is quite a cushion now, so we'll have to wait and see, but fingers crossed she'll keep going.
To open right 7.
Callum was certainly pushing the Escort to its very limit.
300. To right 3, into long left 3. Into long right 5. 200. Long right 5, 200. Left 9. Plus right 9, 100. To left 4 over brow. Left 4 over brow, plus right 4. Into left 6, 200. Right 7.
It was another stunning time for Duffy on this 23-mile stage as he too broke the record. Another great run over the locks would see another great time. But when we caught up with him at service, it wasn't enough to put him where he wanted to be.
I'm looking at the times for the first 2 stages tonight. It didn't go to plan.
No, it didn't, no. Well, Christ, you can't argue with beating the record, can you, If somebody beats you, well, fair play to them, It's going really well.
And with the tyres again, maybe they're giving you a few problems again?
It wasn't the tyres this time, it was just the start of the stage was quite greasy, Couldn't really get any kind of grip, so... I don't know, what did Paul do in the second stage there?
Did a 6:41.
41. That's, to be expected, so...
At the end of the day, it's been a cracking battle between yourselves.
It's not over
last
yet.
day.
It's not over yet. All 3 stages to go, anything can happen.
anything can happen. He'll be pushing it like...
Well, I'm not going to give him it. Simple as that.
Good man.
Willie Bonnywell was third on the road, and obviously pushing very hard, as could be seen by his glowing brakes. Fourth fastest on stage 13, and then a third fastest on stage 14. His third overall was looking better with every stage.
Willie, you arrived late into the final the control before start tonight. Did you have a problem?
The spark plugs fouled up basically, wouldn't start. One of these things. Nothing like we panicked just before the start.
And you're lying in third place now overall.
I believe yep. Just keep it there, hopefully.
And did you have a good run over the first two tonight?
Just steady away, just kept it neat and tidy, no drama. Just, we don't want to pick up a puncture or anything, that's all it takes. So we're just trying to hold our position and bring it home basically.
Stage 13 would be a good stage for James McGilvery, as he stopped the clocks just 2 seconds slower than Bonnywell. But stage 14, Mishnish Locks, proved to be very tricky, as conditions had once again deteriorated. Struggling for grip, he dropped nearly 20 seconds. However, he held on to his fourth place. John Cope was starting to put in a final push. He only needed to be 10 seconds quicker than McGilvery to take that fourth spot. But shortly after passing our camera, he became the first casualty of the changing conditions.
Game over? Yeah.
The car was beached and their rally was over. Daniel Harper's luck had also run out. The gear linkage had broken and he lost 2 minutes making a temporary repair.
A little bit of mechanical problem tonight, yeah, but that's life, isn't it? Gear linkage popped off. Stop and fix it within a mile of the start.
It's all fixed now, obviously, and ready to go for the last three.
Yeah, it came out over the locks all right, and everything seems all right, so...
Top two are trading times. There could be a chance that you might be able to move up a couple of places, who knows?
I think the top two move both had the big moments so far today. I saw Callum's at the start of Greben this afternoon. He had a big moment on there, and I think Paul's had one in the long one, so we'll see what goes on, but fair dues, let him get on.
Tristan Pye would set a fantastic time on the opening stage. 4 seconds quicker than Bonnywell and third fastest overall. Another great run over the locks, and he now looked in a relatively comfy fifth.
I think unfortunately somebody's gone out. I think we caught Young Hall as well, so it's quite a good few stages. We'll have to see what happens on the next ones.
No dramas in there?
No, we broke the lights on a jump, but they didn't affect us at all, so it's quite good.
Okay, and going into the last three, do you think you've got any chance of making maybe fourth place?
I am. Let me have a look. Probably not. We'll have to see what happens.
But at the end of the day, it's been a good run for you this rally so far.
Oh yeah, it's a good rally this. I just like coming over and having a bit of fun, so it's all good.
Once again, Tony Barney was on a mission and was soon past the stricken Subaru of John Cope. But then, we'll let Tony explain.
The first one, I think we're catching Tristan Pye, and then I was starting to look at Tristan instead of listening to Reg. So next thing, I'm up a banking. So then we dropped time in the end because I had a bit of a worry, So, and then on the second one, Tristan took another 3 seconds off us. So we have a small problem with the clutch now. It's not releasing correctly, so it's not going to be an easy weekend.
It never is up here though, Tony, is it?
No, I think the old car's had too much of a lay in the workshop and it needs a bit of work on it or something.
How do you think these next three stages are going to go?
If it's dry, I mean, I'm going to have a go, if we get this clutch changed in time, so
There's a huge battle going on up front with the first two. He's just absolutely flying. I mean, there's a chance that you maybe can move up a couple of places if anybody makes a mistake.
I mean, that would be fantastic. I mean, I wouldn't wish it on anybody, obviously, but yeah, I mean, if I could stay where I am now, I think it's I'd be happy with all that. So let's see what the night brings.
Right too long, camber.
For Chris Hall, it was just a case of keeping his head down and concentrating. Richard Milliner keeping him in control.
Then right 2 plus, rocks inside, into left 3 in, 50, small crest, and right 2 on bum. And right 2 on bum. And right 3 minus. Left 5. Slight left over small crest 40. Bad bump, right 5 in on crest, left 6.
First 2 stages done tonight. How's it gone in there?
Not too bad. We had a clean run through the long one. We've dropped quite a bit of time to Bardi and Tristan. There's nothing we can do about that really. And unfortunately we picked up a puncher over the locks, carried that for around 2 miles, dropped around 30 seconds. So I think we're in 7th place now, going in with 3 stages to go, but we'll have to see how it goes.
There's a huge battle on at the front. I mean, maybe if 1 or 2 of them drop out, you just don't know where you're going to end up. It's been a tremendous result, whatever.
Yeah, it has, and I can't complain. I've had a lot of luck so far, so yeah, you can't complain. And there's 2 of the front runners dropped out tonight, so that's moved us up too, so I can't complain.
David Miller had made a cautious start to the final leg, but would still be holding on to 9th overall. And moving on to the top 10 leaderboard, a very happy Tug Sherrington in his Evo 4. Not so happy was John Swinsko. A good tidy run through the opening stage, but a puncture on the locks meant he had to stop and change it, and all chances of a top 10 finish were gone. Ian Mackenzie was still putting in a remarkable performance in the little Peugeot, now up to 12th overall. And still holding on to the Class A lead, we caught up with Matthew Tarbert at the final service.
Oh, we're going alright, we're just nice and steady away, get through, it's getting slippy now, so try and maintain the gap as it were.
And has the weekend been plain sailing, or have you had your problems?
No, we had a problem with the carburettors actually fell off on the last missionish stage on Saturday afternoon, but soon sorted it in service and away we go, no problems.
New car this year, obviously. How's it fared?
It's all right, no problems at all. I mean, we have a good base setup, and we've not touched it really. Cracked on.
Dennis Biggerstaff had started the night on another charge, but when we found him in service, there was another story.
Dennis, not another gearbox on Mull.
Yeah, well, it's just the gears are all there, but it's lost the system pressure, and I thought it was going to go on fire out the road, so we stopped actually with the policeman, a police Land Rover. We were doing a speed check, and we brought his fire extinguisher with us, so there's a lot of smoke. So we're going to try and it's the easiest way. There's probably nothing wrong with the gearbox, but with this oil problem, we don't want to go on a fire.
Was it on the last stage or the long one?
It was on the last stage. Now, she was mucking about. Well, maybe she wasn't. It was so slippy in the last stage, the first 3/4 of it, and it was as if there was something, but maybe it was just the stage was very icy, or not icy, but it felt as slippy as ice.
And you okay with it up to now, with the car, apart from this?
We had the brake sticking on there, which was probably from last night and most of the day, so we'll have that cured now, which just gives us different readings in the diffs and stuff. The car thinks it's got the brakes on, so it doesn't lock the diffs up, so that'll maybe help a little bit.
Okay, Dennis.
They're too complicated for me.
John,
how are you doing?
Bit of a problem there?
Yeah, we've had an interesting day today. We broke a wheel in the first Calgary, dropped a minute, had a clean second run round Calgary. We we took the minute back off the block then over at Locks. Going down to Gribben, broke a shaft on start line of Gribben, managed to limp it all the way through Gribben and Spridden. But seeing as we'd come to try this year, we thought we'd have a do up the long one, and it was something like right 5 over crest into Telegraph Pole. But in the spirit of not giving up, we thought we'd crack on, and so we're here. So on with some wets because of this rain, and let's see how far we can get.
So it's only 3 more to go anyway.
Yeah, I mean, we set some good times last night. The highest we've been today is 15th overall, which is, you know, brilliant for me. And shame about that, but still a fantastic rally, and I'll see if we can get it to end.
So with just 3 stages remaining, it's time now to catch up with some more from the classes. In Class A, the battle for 4th and 5th would go all the way to the final stages, with both crews being closely matched. But taking 5th, it would be the Nissan Micra of Hayden Williams and Chris Sanderson. Just 1 place higher overall, 4th in class, the Mini of Jim Brindle and Paul Whittaker. Third in class would go to Stephen Thompson and Rhoda McKinnon. But the final battle would not include Matt Tarbert, who would crash out on stage 15, leaving the Sunbeam of Donald Brown and the Puma of Alan McLaughlin to fight it out over the final stages. But it was the Puma that would come out on top by almost a full minute. Class B had been dominated by Ian McKenzie, and it was a fantastic result, not only taking the class win, but he would eventually finish in 11th overall.
Believe you've won Class B?
Well, I don't know yet, we'll just have to see, but I think we had a bit of a lead when we started tonight. I think we lost a bit of time on him, well, he gained a bit of time on us, and the first couple of stages, but I don't know how he went round Steed and Greben and how he'll go in this one, but I'd say he'll be pushing pretty hard to get time off us in this one.
It looks like you've had a good run and smile on your face at the end of it.
It's not very often I get to the end.
Equally impressive, John and Paul McCrone in the Peugeot had proved their commitment and talent. They had actually beaten McKenzie on the long stage by 20 seconds and never been far off his pace. They would take 2nd in the class and an amazing 13th overall, much to the delight of the local crowd. Going into the final leg, Stevie Brown had been upholding the family honour and had climbed up the leaderboard into 13th place. We'll now join him towards the end of the Greeburn, and there's some big jumps coming up. The suspension had actually collapsed, leaving the car pointing in the wrong direction. We'll look again in slow motion. So in Class C, taking 3rd, it was the Opel Manta of Grum Wilcock and Donna Harper. And upholding the honour of the Mark I Escort, 2nd in class would go to Chris Haig and Sally Peacock. We'll look at the overall winner of Class C soon, But first, a quick word with another very happy finisher.
Good result for you, Steve Cressy.
Yeah, we're absolutely delighted. The first time up on the island, first 2 legs couldn't have been better. This last leg has been just an absolute nightmare. We had a Proflex. We had a Proflex collapse on the last stage of the second leg. I didn't have any spares, so I put some fast road dampers on, and the car was almost undrivable. Wayne Sisson's caught us, took a minute out of us on the 22 miler. We then got a puncture on the next one and dropped about 2.5 minutes. Managed to blag a Proflex in service and went out on a bit of a mission and threw it well into the scenery on the previous stage. So, all in all, fantastic.
Excellent. Well done. Well done.
Delighted.
Oh, that doesn't look good.
Daniel Harper's luck finally ran out at the end of stage 15, seen parked up here on the right. The gear selector broken for good. And so the top 10 would change again, leaving a very happy Wayne Sisson to take 10th.
Well, you've made it to the finish, Wayne. You've returned. How does it feel?
Good, yeah, I really enjoyed it. Yeah, very pleased.
And the car performed okay all weekend?
Yeah, faultless, yeah. Not a problem. Only thing we've got is just cracked windscreen.
I think you can put up with that now, can't you?
Oh yeah, that'll do.
Excellent, well done.
Thank you very much.
A superb transformation from 2 to 4-wheel drive had suited Tug Sherrington, as he would bring the Mitsubishi home in 9th overall.
Suggs, you're on the calendar, we believe.
Aye, that'll make a change, won't it? I've only been trying for 21 years, something like that.
How's the new car then?
It's nice. It's amazing how quick it gets to bends. That's the problem with it. And then how quick it goes round them, which is even worse because I can't keep up with it. Getting too old for all that. Could do an 18-year-old in it.
Anyway, well done.
All right, mate. Thanks a lot. Thank you.
It had been an uneventful rally for David Miller, but a great result once again, finishing 8th overall.
Well, you made it. You're here. How's that feel?
It's all right. It's good. That is. That's 2 years in a row. I think we're tied the top 10, so pleased with that, yeah.
So you just got on the calendar then?
Just get on the calendar, you're happy, aren't you?
Yeah, exactly. And the car performed okay today?
The car's been great, yeah, no problem with the car.
Excellent, well done.
All right, okay, thank you.
Tony Bardi had certainly been made to work hard for his finish, but once again he had proved he still has the pace. He would finish in 7th overall, and he looked quite relieved as he pulled up at the end of the final stage.
You here, Tony?
Yeah, that's good enough, isn't it, to get here?
On the calendar again, we believe?
Thank God for that. I missed it for a year. Not the greatest stage for us, that one, but I think after not finishing, you want to get to the end, and it's almost impossible to change gears. So we're here, aren't we? That's it. That'll do.
Looks like you managed to fix your clutch problem then.
No, I didn't fix it. No. We're still, you'll see when we leave here. But
nothing.
Nah.
Well done anyway.
Thanks for that. Cheers.
Young Chris Hall had driven an unbelievable rally, setting times that really should not be possible in a Group N Fiesta. And on the final 2 stages, he would round out his almost perfect weekend with 2 third fastest times.
Then left 1 minus sharp, into left 1. And right 3 long narrows, bump bridge. And slot right 1. right 4. 80 left 6 and right 4. And left 6 bump into right 4. 40 over grid. Right 6 tightens. And left 4. So much for f***ing going steady on the last one.
Chris, you're at the end. Top 10 finish. How's that?
A bit of a surprise if you told me that at the start of the rally. I'm over the moon, to be honest. Just to get the car through at that kind of pace on a rally like this is an achievement in itself. So yeah, I'm over the moon.
Yeah, it looks like it on your face. How was them last two stages? A bit nervous, or were you happy with the car?
No, I was really happy with the car. We're having a few problems, so we're losing a bit of time, but no, we just pushed right till the end, and it's been really good.
Well driven anyway. See you tomorrow.
See you then.
Finishing in a relatively comfy 5th place and making it possibly a very good weekend for the Pye Motorsport team, Tristan Pye would bring his Subaru home to not only take 5th, but also the top Group N car. And more importantly, he would be the top non-Scot. James McGilvery had found the conditions very tricky, and under normal circumstances, his pace should have seen him on the podium. But it wasn't to be for 2008. He would finish a full minute down on 3rd, but was still happy at the finish.
James, you got to the finish. How was it?
Yeah, it was slippy tonight. Couldn't meet anything Willie tonight, so no, delighted. I think we should be 4th, so delighted with 4th.
And what were the crowds like in Dervig?
I didn't see much. I was that busy trying to keep it on the road, but there was a lot of people right enough. So no, a great rally.
Willie Bonnywell had driven a superb rally to extract all he could from the Subaru, and he was even very modest about it at the finish line.
You done enough to get 3rd?
Yeah, it'll be fine, aye.
Good drive on the last 3 stages?
Aye, just neat and tidy, just don't try and be a hero out there, just no point, just very, very slippy. And you're anxious to get to the end, so yeah.
And you've got on the podium tomorrow?
Yeah, go on the podium tomorrow. There you go.
Excellent, well done.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
But the drama wasn't quite over yet. Paul McKinnon came down from the hill road and the back bumper was trailing. Had he been pushing too hard? Meanwhile, Duffy was approaching the spot that had caught McKinnon out, and that made him even more determined to push.
To right 1, keep the head long, right 4, 2, very long, slippy left 9, very slippy. To right 5, and to right 2 over brow, and left 5. Left 5 here, into left 2 over brow, 200, to right 4, 200, to left 4, into right 2, plus left 3, plus right 3, 200.
The big question now was, how much time had McKinnon lost?
How many seconds did you have before you went in, do you know?
About 38, but we spun it in there, so probably lost it now, I thought.
Well, it's all down to the last stage. Let's see who's under the end.
Yeah, his Callum's probably got it, made a bit of a mistake in there, so.
But Duffy was also struggling, not that the crowd could tell. In fact, Duffy had also hit problems. He had buckled a wheel and was fighting just to keep it on the road. Yet, he was still almost flat out in 6th gear.
100, to flat over brow 100, into left 1 and right 1, 200. 50. To left 1 and right 2. Left 1, right 2, 100. 100. To right 3. Right 3 here now, Callum.
At the finish line, there was still plenty of confusion.
He spun it. He reckons he's lost it.
He hasn't lost it. We got a buckled wheel and we couldn't take left-handers.
Okay, mate. Really unlucky, mate.
Not really, no. We did.
Both Ian and Daniel Barrett quickly tried to calculate the times.
You must have really pushed it in the last 3 stages there.
Well, I think we lost it by 7.
And it looked as though Paul had just done enough.
Oh no, Paul deserved to win it. I mean, he's a great drive all rally there, you know. And
great battle. Deserves something like that.
Yeah, did I? No, it was good. Deserved that.
Okay, mate. Well driven.
Cheers.
So, a final confirmation, and it was actually just 9 seconds that had separated the top 2. But what a final drama! Before the parade on the Sunday morning, a special tribute to the late Jack Neal, a committee member and scrutineer for many years, took place on the hill above Dervig, scattering his ashes at the place he loved most. And so we'll leave you with the parade and the final spraying of the champagne. Thanks for watching.
So folks, this has been a fantastic Tour of Mull. Congratulations to all the teams, but particularly to Paul on his first win on the 2008 Tour of Mull, the best rally in the world.
Waste.
Fantastic.